Hey, what up guys, it's your boy Johnny here today, and I'm going to be ranking all 5 of the January 2024 releases I've seen. Let me know down below any ones worth checking out that I missed or didn't get the chance to see. And with all that down, let's get into it. In last place is Roleplay. This movie is an Amazon original action comedy where a husband finds out his wife is secretly an assassin for hire. This movie just really didn't work for me. The pacing was really sluggish, and honestly, I was bored for the majority of the runtime. There's barely any action in the movie until we get to the very end, and even when we finally get some, it's very underwhelming. I enjoyed Kaylee Cuoco's performance as Penny in The Big Bang Theory, which is the only thing I've seen her in before this, but here I found her performance to be off when it comes to her line delivery, and I just couldn't buy her as this deadly assassin that the movie wanted you to believe she was, especially since there was barely any action or assassin scenes for you to see her skills. This movie also wasn't very funny outside of the husband's character, played by David Oyelowo, who brought some humor to a mostly boring movie. In 4th place is Mayhem. This is an action thriller where a guy who lives a peaceful life's criminal past catches up with him, leaving his life in ruins, leaving him on a revenge path. When I first seen the trailer for this movie, I was hyped. It looked like an action-packed, badass, entertaining time, and at one point in the trailer it had a quote on screen saying that it easily rivals John Wick and The Raid. So it got my hopes and expectations up even more, and sadly, the movie ended up being a big disappointment. I liked the way the movie was shot, and I thought the build-up establishing the lead's life and current situation followed up by the scene where everything falls apart were all pretty well done. And the final fight scene in the hallway, followed up directly by an elevator fight, was well done. It was well choreographed, brutal, and badass. Where the movie disappoints is when it comes to the rest of the action in the movie. Outside of the final fight scene, all of the other fights, despite being well choreographed, were way too short and underwhelming. There was also this cool old man side character who got completely wasted. There's a scene where he has a fight and it's badass, but it's over way too fast because they cut away from it not too long after it begins. And then another scene where he's about to fight a group of guys and it cuts away entirely, only showing the aftermath later in the film. Also, the villain confrontation at the end was very anticlimactic, and some of the twists and reveals that occur weren't very satisfying or interesting and just not well done. Overall, a very underwhelming experience, especially given my hype going in and the expectations that the trailer set. I mean, come on, it's called Mayhem, and there's not very much of it, to be honest. In 3rd place, we have Lift. This is a Netflix original action heist comedy where a master thief is wooed by his ex-girlfriend and the FBI to pull off an impossible heist with his international crew on a 777-passenger flight from London to Zurich. This movie's pretty much what you'd expect when it comes to these Netflix original action and heist movies. It's fine, it's generic, but watchable enough. Something you'd throw on just to have something on and it be a decent enough experience. I liked seeing Kevin Hart play against type, and I enjoyed Vincent D'Onofrio's character. Although I feel like he was very underused, the rest of the cast was fine enough, but no real standouts across the board. Personally, I feel like the team was too big and it would have benefited from cutting a few characters so the rest could have more time to shine and be given more depth. It was fine enough time for most of its runtime, albeit a bit boring during the middle, but when it finally got to the heist section, I thought it was kind of fun and entertaining. This movie wasn't amazing, but it also wasn't horrible. It was just okay. Number 2 is The Beekeeper. This is a new Jason Statham action movie where his brutal campaign for vengeance takes on national stakes after it's revealed he's a former operative for a powerful and clandestine organization known as Beekeepers. I had a good time with this one. The plot isn't anything we haven't seen before, but it's a familiar story done well. I enjoyed watching Jason Statham kick the ass of a bunch of assholes. I thought the 2 FBI agents' story that we were following was decent enough and didn't detract from the rest of the movie. I also really enjoyed seeing Josh Hutcherson as a bad guy. Getting to see him play this type of role was fun since I've only ever seen him as good guys up until this point, and there was just a lot of solid fight scenes throughout. When it comes to negatives, I'd say I wish they gave more for Jeremy Irons to do. I feel like he was kind of wasted, and I wish he had more scenes with Statham's character. I think the death of the main villain was kind of underwhelming compared to the deaths of the minor villains that we got throughout the movie, and I wish that the movie showed a bit more of the fallout of the finale and let us catch up a bit more with the characters after the fact. But overall, it was a fun time. And in 1st place comes Badland Hunters. This is a Netflix original Korean post-apocalyptic action movie starring Don Lee, from Train to Busan and the Eternals as the lead, who is a fearless huntsman who goes on a mission to rescue a teenager from a mad doctor in a community full of dangerous cultists. This movie was a blast. I had a lot of fun with it. Don Lee was badass as the lead, and I liked his two companions who accompanied him on his mission as well. I also liked seeing the girl joining the community and slowly realizing things aren't what they seem. There was also a lot of badass, brutal fight scenes in the movie that were very entertaining, especially the ones that occur during the attack on the community at the end of the movie. My favorites being a scene where our characters have to fight zombies. It's not a zombie apocalypse movie, but the crazy scientists did different tests and stuff and created some which are seen in this sequence, and it was pretty cool. And there's also this scene where Don Lee just kicks a bunch of ass in a hallway, and it's pretty awesome. Overall, it was a very entertaining, fun, brutal, badass movie, and that's why it comes in at number 1. So, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below your rankings of all the January 2024 movie releases that you've seen. And with that said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or night, and I'll see you next time. Peace.